Hello, my name is Keith Elford and I am the interim priest in charge at St John's West Byfleet. This is thought and prayer for the day on Wednesday the 10th of March. I wonder what's helped to keep you going during this long period of lockdown. One of the things that has kept me going is reading novels. Yes, we talk about the love of God and we talk about the value of our friends and of our sense of higher purpose and all those things, but actually the more ordinary things help too. And I've been reading novels, and when I say reading novels, I'm not talking about particularly high-minded fiction. I am talking about thrillers, detective stories, historical fiction, and I suppose it is escapist to quite a large extent. I'm just embarking on a rereading of Bernard Cornwell's series of novels about the formation of England, that is, the events of the life of Alfred the Great and the events of his son and grandson, the events just after that, which saw the formation of a single kingdom of England. The character is a warrior, the hero rather, is a character called Uhtred, and if you've read them, you'll know the appeal of these things. And Uhtred is a very formidable, self-reliant, heroic warrior character. And I suppose one has to acknowledge the appeal of such a figure, the sort of person who always pulls himself out, the person who takes the lead, the person who is always strong and who conquers in adversity and all the rest of it. The appeal to me anyway of those characters is no doubt strong. Another feature of the novels is the way that the Christian faith, the Christian church is portrayed, and not generally in very flattering terms. Of course, we see the church through the eyes of the hero who sees the Christian faith. He prefers the Saxon gods. He sees the Christian faith as a religion for the weak, and the kind of milk and water. And, this is a critique which is essentially the same critique that Nietzsche was making at the end of the 19th century, at the beginning of the 20th century. The idea that Christianity is for the weak. And next to the swashbuckling, buccaneering hero figures of these novels, the church characters can look quite weedy. But it doesn't, in the end, it doesn't really work. It doesn't really work. Because if life is just for the strong, if life is for the heroic, then what hope have most of us got? Not really. We can indulge those ideas and they take us out of ourselves for a little while. But they don't really tell the true story of where we are. The fact is that we need each other. The fact is that we are dependent on others. And the fact is too that the church has frequently failed to live up to its ideals and to its calling. But actually, it is because of the influence of the church and of the teaching of Christ through the church that we have the concern we do for all, for the weak as well as the strong. And we recognise our interdependence, our mutuality, our need for one another. And so appeals to a life of buccaneering independence. I mean, self-reliance, yes, that's valuable and important. But the idea that we can appeal to the idea of this kind of buccaneering independence as a credible way of seeing our own lives, or a credible way of seeing the life of our nation or our community, I don't think stacks up. God calls us to a life of interdependence. And, well, perhaps that's a conversation that goes on in some of our heads. I have a prayer, which is quite a short prayer, which I hope brings home some of those different things I've put together there. Let us pray. Give me, Lord, a stout heart to bear my own burdens, a tender heart to bear the burdens of others, and a believing heart to lay all my burdens on you, for you care for us. Thank you. Thought for the Day will be back on Friday with my colleague Di. Service is on Sunday. Do join us then. Goodbye.